Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. WWE announced John Cena's last match, Saturday night's main event, December. We all knew it was coming. Washington, D.C. I couldn't be the only one out there that was kind of heartbroken, kind of sad by the fact that, it's really going to happen. I was hoping that, John Cena's, last year in wrestling was going to be some sort of a gimmick, some sort of a sales pitch, trying to get more people to show up to the show. And then at the end of it, John was going to be like, aha, I'll never retire. Just basically turn into Ric Flair strutting out there. But, Cena has had one hell of a career, as he has, walked away from wrestling to start doing more movies and television and other things like that. You got to think that every time he comes back to wrestling and he's taking the bumps inside of the ring, that they probably hurt 10 times worse than they ever did before. And every time he does, he's kind of like, I never really felt it like this, or I never really thought about it the next day. But all of a sudden, it's getting there. I'm sure the guys that just are in the ring continuously and their career just goes on and on, those guys seem that they can do it forever because it's always with them. It's always there. The fact that they're not, piling up injuries or anything like that. But I don't know, like, what I think is going to happen. Nobody really knows the plan of what John Cena is going to do. We know that at Crown Jewel in 2 weeks, John Cena is going to fight against AJ Styles. Then we've got 2 Monday Night Raws. We got one in Boston. We got one at Madison Square Garden. We got a WWE's Survivor Series, War Games. I think most people are hoping that, we're going to see Cena in War Games. Maybe be like a dream team of Team WWE going up against The Vision. Paul Heyman's team of Seth Rollins, maybe Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker. Then we have Braun Strowman if they want to make it a 5-man team. Most people have linked Drew McIntyre to being into this group, maybe getting a shot at Cody Rhodes. But I think that honestly, Drew has beef with almost everybody on that team. And if anybody is going to take down this team WWE, I think that Drew wants to be the guy to do it. And that would leave us with, this one Saturday night's main event and kind of wondering, like, what is John Cena's last match, going to be? I've seen a lot of people kind of thinking that maybe Cena will have a match against Dom for the Intercontinental title. And then, Cena would beat Dom. And then maybe Cena could have another Monday Night Raw appearance where he would fight against Sheamus, somebody that he had a big feud with. And was that 2009, 2010? Maybe the end of 2009 is when Sheamus wins the belt in the TLC match. Well, it was a tables match is what it was, because, I still don't really remember the end, but like Cena ends up going through a table and everybody's like kind of surprised that Sheamus wins. That was after they did the whole Jesse Ventura comes back to WWE when he had the Conspiracies TV show. That he was on Monday Night Raw, kind of like getting support for. And he did the thing with Vince on commentary, and he kind of handpicked the main event, which was going to be a battle royal of competitors that had not held the WWE Championship, to sort of like give them a title shot at the pay-per-view. And Sheamus won it. Sheamus was kind of very early in his career. He had moved over to Monday Night Raw from SmackDown. I remember the SmackDown feud that Sheamus had against Goldust, and that was just like really good banger matches that showed you this guy was a real competitor. But even on Raw, I can't really think of him getting in the mix a whole bunch, but he just goes out and beats John Cena that fast if they were able to have a match. I know that Cena's not going to retire with the Intercontinental Championship, but I can't remember Cena ever winning the Intercontinental title, and I think that might link him to winning almost every belt in WWE, minus the 24/7 belt. And then if he was to drop that belt to Sheamus, you can remember that last year, every time Sheamus had a match, he was kind of like really hunting the Intercontinental title. It'd sort of give them a reason to have that match. And if, Sheamus wins after Cena beats Dom, it kind of crosses both of them off as, pretty much, I don't even know, mega champions or something like that. Again, because they've held all these belts. But what is the last match going to be? The one thing I see is so many people saying they want to see Cena versus Gunther. I understand that would be a dream match because Gunther is such a big guy. He's a new competitor to WWE. He hasn't had a match against somebody like John Cena. We haven't seen Gunther since SummerSlam, so it makes sense for him to be having a return around that time from his nasal surgery, I guess is what you say, surgery on the nose or whatever they said it was. And trust me, that would be a great match. It kind of makes me think of like a Cena versus Kozlov, or like a Cena versus all of those bad dudes that Cena fought when they would just build somebody up through ECW, like a Heidenreich or something like that, and then all of a sudden Cena beats them and they just go away. Some people think that it's going to be one hell of a feather in Gunther's cap if he's able to beat another legend like he just retired Goldberg during Goldberg's last match on their Saturday night's main event. The one storyline that I haven't put to bed, and I still don't think it makes any sense, is Cena versus Brock. I understand it's Saturday night's main event. I understand that it's, it's NBC. It's Peacock, actually. It's their app that it's going to be on. But you got to remember, if people dumped Peacock as a WWE subscriber because the normal PLEs weren't going to be on there, if they're not on there watching The Office, or watching any of the other shows on there. I was going to mention this one, but I forgot the freaking name of it. The one with the red-haired girl who can tell if people are lying. That's probably my favorite show that's been on there. That's a Peacock original. If they're not watching The Paper, which is the Office knockoff that I thought pretty much completely sucked after 2 episodes. But, if they're trying to get those people to come back, I think it'll be a Cena versus Brock Lesnar match that makes people subscribe. Because you got to think, if they're going to be one-day subscribers, where you just sign up and then you unsubscribe the next day so you're not charged, and you're going to sign up for the next Saturday night's main event when that's going to be in 4 months. I don't think they have free trials for Peacock, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that's one thing that's going to make people sign up. NBC is going to be happy. WWE definitely be happy. I think Cena has to beat Brock in that last match. Think of their rivalry. They had the match that I don't think a lot of people remember very early in their career. I think it was in 2003 when Brock was king of SmackDown. They had the match when Brock came back at Extreme Rules. Brock killed him. Cena got the win, but Cena hit like 5 moves in that match. Go to SummerSlam. Cena gets destroyed, has no prayer in that match. Go to Night of Champions. Cena wins via disqualification, but it's the same match from SummerSlam. Then you fast forward all the way to a few months ago. Cena got his moveset off, and it was nothing. It didn't even slow Brock Lesnar down. He just got up, F5'd him to death, and pinned him. And everybody went home crying because they thought that Cena was going to defeat him. Cena has to beat Brock. It makes no sense to end John Cena's career without a win over Brock Lesnar and slaying the beast that is out there. If you want Brock to be a normal competitor in WWE, you want him to win the Rumble. You want him to go to WrestleMania and be like nothing ever happened. And nobody knows about the Grant case or anything like that. You can do that. You can still do it. Just have Brock show up and win the Rumble. I don't know. And plus, to me, so much time has passed from the last time we saw Brock to the next time we'll see him that the Cena match might not even mean anything in the long run, especially if the commentators aren't like hitting it hard. Cena needs to be hitting Brock hard. Cena versus Brock, Saturday night's main event. Book it.